What's up, people? In this video, I want to do a Bitcoin hard fork roundup and just talk about some of the things that have happened. It's August 14th, so that means that it's pretty much 2 weeks since August 1st and the initiation of the hard fork and the Bitcoin network update. So, just to go over a couple of things, I did write a post on this, which I will drop in the comment in the description video box below that you can check out. So I won't go over it too much, as I've covered this in other videos. If you don't know what a Bitcoin hard fork is or what happened on August 1st, make sure you check out some of my other videos on the channel, which will help explain all of this. So basically, August 1st, Bitcoin did hard fork. So we have now Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Basically, Bitcoin Cash wanted to reject SegWit, which was the update to the network, and increase the block size to shift away from Bitcoin and kind of do its own thing. So now it's an altcoin to Bitcoin and will basically be a competitor in the market, trying to gain a percentage of people in the cryptocurrency industry and all that good stuff, which drives up cryptocurrency's values. So you can read this. I have done a good amount of research into why the Bitcoin hard fork happened, the kind of motives behind people and companies that I felt were pushing this thing along. So you might get some interesting info from this type of post that's on my blog. You can check it out. Remember, links below. I won't go over it too much, as I want to just do a roundup of kind of what's happened over the last 2 weeks. So just to mention again, I didn't mention a hard fork at the start of this video, but really Bitcoin Cash forked away, and we can see that even more over the past 2 weeks, as it fluctuates in value, as it came from a large come down on August 1st. So really Bitcoin Cash wants to do its own thing, and it forked away from the original Bitcoin chain, which, as we've seen, Bitcoin over the last 2 weeks kind of go on a bull rush. In August 14th, reaching new highs over $4,000. So that's always nice to see, and something that I did predict. If you've been watching my videos or you're on my email subscriber list, then you kind of saw me saying that coming into the mid to end of August into September, we're going to see a bull run, as kind of the update was successful and things kind of blow over with headlines talking about the update and all that kind of controversial stuff, and the price increases once again as more money flows into the Bitcoin network, which is always nice to see. So the big thing is, what now? So the update has happened. It's meant to set in on August 21st. I've had a lot of people asking me about that. So basically what that means is, as SegWit has initiated, there is this thing called a grace period, which gives mining companies a couple of weeks to upgrade their software and basically come on board with the new update that has happened, in order for them to verify the network and run the proper software that they need to. So it basically gives them a chance to move over to the new and adapt their computers and mining rigs and all that good stuff to be compatible with the new network. So that's what happens on August 21st, because it's a particular block. A block is what happens within the chain. So blocks build every 10 minutes, and that's basically the verification process of the Bitcoin network as transactions fill up inside there, and then these mining rigs verify those blocks and those transactions, and that's how things move forward. So a particular block on August 21st is when SegWit will fully integrate into the network, and these mining rigs all over the world will come to update their software, and it goes on and on. So that's what's happening on August 21st. And in terms of Bitcoin Cash, so you can see here that on August 2nd, kind of Bitcoin Cash hit a massive high, as I think, it was pumped a lot by people and different, I'd say, whales within the market. And then you can see it drops off, and then coming into August 6th, and then it kind of balances itself out over the last week, as today's August 14th. So it kind of is balanced out now and is, sort of trading along this 0.07 to 0.09 frame, which is interesting to see. So on my previous videos, I know I've talked about this. Be interesting to see months and months down the line whether Bitcoin Cash can hold up, clinching a percent of the market and the volume that it's currently producing, which is just over 5,000 Bitcoin right now, to see if it can hold on to that and increase in value, decrease in value. Be interesting to see what happens. Who knows? I think it could sustain maybe this level of trading. I think it will drop more as money comes out of it and into different places. So that'll always be interesting to analyze over the coming weeks, and I'll do some more content on that. I liked this article's kind of SegWit lock-in and what that means. So looking at the last 2 weeks, I am quite optimistic and happy about how things have gone with the update of SegWit, and I think it will be a good thing for the network as a whole, as some bugs were fixed, and now we have moved into integrating the Lightning Network into the Bitcoin network. And what that basically means is there's a lot of congestion which was happening on the blockchain, which was basically slowing down transaction time and slowing down and making the transactions more costly, because basically you can only fit so many transactions within a particular block. So what the Lightning Network does is it basically builds on top of the blockchain. So the way you can think about it is, if there's a highway and there's only one highway and loads of cars are going down it, and there comes a time where it gets super congested because there's obviously so many cars traveling down it, and it's only a three lane highway, so naturally it gets congested and things start to back up and it starts to become slower. So what the Lightning Network basically does is it builds highways on top of this particular one to divert traffic, and different cars, different transactions can go different ways in order to speed things up, make things more efficient, make things more cost efficient, all of that good stuff. And it basically frees a particular space on the blockchain, which will allow more transactions to be processed and processed on top of the blockchain on the Lightning Network, where people can transact on top of it, and then it'll drop down and be verified within the blockchain. So that's a very brief understanding of it. I don't want to make it too complex, but it will basically really help free up transaction time and make things more cost efficient, which is something, especially with the mainstream people using Bitcoin, is something of big concern, and that's what they want to kind of move forward with the times. So that's always nice to see, and I think it's a good indicator for the future, and making an increased amount of optimism for different things that may happen, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the line when other possible upgrades come to the network. And that leads me on to the last point of this video, where what's next. So now that we've got SegWit and it will fully come into play and into motion on August 21st, as that's when it should lock in, SegWit 2X is also on the cards within the coming months. Nobody really knows, but it'll be interesting to see when developers want to push that. And what that basically means is now we've had segregated witness, and that type of platform and upgrade has happened on the Bitcoin network. SegWit 2X is basically an increased block size. So when I talked about that 1 megabyte block that can bring in so many transactions at one particular time, this type of upgrade would double that block size and allow more transactions to fit in, basically speeding up the network once again and allowing more transactions to be processed every block, every 10 minutes. So that'll be a movement which I will cover in the coming months. So if you want more information on that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's a little thing below here in the bottom right corner, which you can click right now to subscribe. And that'll be very interesting to see the developers with Bitcoin Core and then the developers of SegWit 2X to see what type of friction comes along, if they can get on and a hard fork may not happen or may happen, depending on the type of development and consensus different people can come to grips with in the Bitcoin network. So that'll always be interesting to follow and will likely be another controversial time within Bitcoin's life, as that type of update is wanting to be implemented by certain people. So I think that's what's next. Coming into August, September, I see a bull run coming for Bitcoin. As I make this video on August 14th, Bitcoin has hit a new high and it's hit it very, very quickly. So I do see a potential pullback before the next bull run does happen. So there might be a nice kind of buy-in point, especially if you're new to this or people looking to possibly get into it. So just be wary for that. But I do see new highs coming in the next couple of months, so that'll always be nice. I think we're in a very good spot, but as I always say, this is a new, young, innovative industry that will change over the next year, 2 years, 5 years. So it'll be very, very good for yourself if you're new or you're seasoned to this, to obviously keep up with the news, keep up with the updates, and move along with the times. So I hope you got something from that video. Thank you for watching. I hope it kind of demonstrated a little bit more on the Bitcoin hard fork roundup and possibly what's to come into the future. I'm Matt Sheriff. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to the channel. Check out the links below. As I mentioned, some free resources down there. You can subscribe to my free newsletter, or the latest and greatest in the cryptocurrency industry. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.